Hey everyone, JB here from DragonDen Productions with another collectible video. Today we're looking at the Mythic Legion's Blue Hagnon and the Deluxe Skeleton Legion Builder, both from Four Horsemen Studios, as part of their line of characters in the epic battle for good and evil. Let's dig into these. Alright, and here we have them here in the packaging. Very nice, clear front casings there. You have Blue Hagnon there, and then the Skeleton Warrior. You can see some of the stuff that comes with the weapons and other stuff, which we'll get into more when I open these up. But really nice packaging on the back. It's got some information about both the characters on the back with some really nice artwork. I'll bring that up close. So if you want to pause the video and stop and possibly read that. There's the one on the back of the Skeleton Warrior. Very cool. Some stuff on the side is the same on the side for both of those. But then on the opposite side, it's got some stuff written there on Blue Hagnon. All right, well, let's crack these open and dig into them. And here we have them out of the package. They come with quite a few accessories, so we're going to go through each one individually, but there are very big similarities between these two figures. First things first though, in the bottom of the package, and this is something I've said in quite a few videos with a lot of your NECA figures or even your Mythic Legions here, use warm water or a hair dryer or something like that to loosen up those joints because they can be real stiff and tight. They actually put a little notice in the bottom of the package, and I'm going to read it to you. I won't read the whole thing, but joints on Mythic Legion's figures can become tight after production. When posing Mythic Legion's figures for the first time, especially during cold weather, it's recommended that heat in the form of warm air from a hairdryer or warm water be used on tight joints in order to loosen the joints slightly before posing. So it's really cool that, I think it's really cool that they actually do that and say that, unlike anything else I've seen. So with that being said, let's get into these guys. So here we have this gentleman. I don't know how well he's going to show up on camera because he is a clearish blue figure. He is quite neat though. The amount of detail that's molded into this guy is just incredible. He, even on this little felt pad, he stands up on his own just fine. Let's do his articulation really quick, then we'll get into all this stuff here. So his head can go 360 degrees very easily. Now his head is a little strange. He's got, well, let's see if I can do it quick with these gloves on. Yep. So this neck joint likes to come out with the head. So he also comes with different heads, but they're going to peg in with just your typical ball peg. And that doesn't come out of this very easily, that I'm finding. So it's almost like you have to take the whole neck out. And it's designed that way. This is just a straight peg that pegs in down into the collarbone area to change out. But it is in there very good. So some warm water or something like that might be necessary. I'm not going to mess around with it too much right now because I kind of like the head that's on it personally. So just has a little peg hole right there. Just peg straight down and the head's on. Once you get the head off that ball joint, you can swap out to either like the armored helmet or just a straight skull. The skull's really neat too because the jaw does open and close. So very cool. But it's pretty much the same skull that's on this guy here too, just in a different plastic. Do that again. So, rawr. Whoop, head went flying. Heads are rolling. Sorry, I shouldn't be playing. All right. When you open this figure up, these shoulder guards here are not attached. As you can kind of see on this guy here, I put one on and left the other one off. It's the same setup on the back of the figure. There's a peg, and inside the shoulder area, or the pauldron, there's a peg, and it just pegs into it and collapses on. I'm leaving that off just for articulation purposes too. Articulation with this guy. Obviously, we did the 360. He can look up quite a bit, so pretty nice. And he can look down, he can do his chin to his chest pretty well. Arms, he can T-pose. Arms can go 360 degrees. These will kind of tilt out of the way on this figure. Elbows, it's only a single joint elbow. So, only can bend that far straight from the waist. So, about like that. The wrist does spin 360 degrees, and this wrist guard will also spin. He does have wrist bend motion as well. So you can, oh, my glove got stuck in there. You can go out about that far and go in, let's see, about that far. So just a little bit of wrist motion back and forth, okay? He does have ab crunch. Well, that was his leg, sorry. So he can tilt at the abs forward and back quite nicely. So, legs. His side guards here are actually a rubber plastic, and they will bend right out of the way. There's no joints on them. It's just rubbery plastic. So he can, and his legs are molded to look like bone. He can full on do the splits. Ouch. So kicking forward, he can kick straight out. Backward, he can kick straight back. That's the most leg movement we've seen so far in a figure. Knees, there's single jointed knees. So he can stand and he can do the Captain Morgan pose just fine. Ankles do have an ankle pivot. So they can pivot out. They can pivot in. He can bend his toe down about that far. So let's see here. Put them right there so you can kind of see the toe down here, and that's flat. And then kick up. Still flat. Toe up. I'll turn it around so you can see it from that direction too. All right. And he can spin 360 degrees at the waist. So, very cool. We're going to set him back down. We're going to go to his accessories. He comes with a ball and chain. The chain is metal, and it does have a cut in there so you can open up. Let's see if I can do it on the glove so you can see the gap. There we go. So you can see a bit of a gap in between there. This is a flexible plastic here, and you can, clamp it on if you wanted to put it on his leg. Just like that. Very easy. He has basically wrist handcuffs, chain gauntlet cuffs. Have the same opening as well. Just got to find it. There it is. So same opening. You can put it on both of his wrists and have them shackled. So it took some digging because they don't come with a whole lot of instructions in the box of how things are supposed to go on the figure. It took me some research to figure out what in the world these are. Apparently, and also because he's a clearish blue figure, I didn't quite see that hole in his back. It's a peg, it's a holder. All right. He comes with this rubbery plastic belt that's got a hole kind of molded into it. It's very soft rubber plastic, which won't really go around his waist, and I've done it on this figure here. I put it on more of like a sash. So you can kind of see it draped across his chest. You can do the same thing on this figure. Just straighten the arm out. I had to remove the head on him. Yeah, you'd have to do it on here too, and then the shoulder gauntlet. But you could do the same thing here. You have the two heads, what we already talked about. The knighted helmet style head, which is really cool. And then the skull head, which has the articulated jaw. Comes with a sword, which looks like it's got made of like a horn or bone on the handle. So, and that should just peg right into his hand, no problem. Because the hands are made of rubbery plastic too, so he can hold on to that. So I get that hand out there for the shield. So he has a shield. The handle does come off on this one. I don't know if it's supposed to, but it does come off. Which honestly, to me, makes it a little bit easier for putting it in his hand. And that may be why they do that. But you can put it in his hand, turn it sideways, then just peg it on. And that way you can easily get that shield on and set him in like a protective pose or something like that. So, very cool figure. I'm really liking this thing. You know, take that old ball and chain off. And I'm actually surprised. This ball actually has a little bit of weight. It's not metal. It's plastic. But it does have a little bit of weight to it. I was pleasantly surprised by that. I'll take these weapons out of his hand. Because really cool. Well, actually, I think we'll do them both at the same time. I'm going to set him aside. We're going to move on to the Skeleton Warrior here. So, very, very similar to this one here, okay? Without the shoulder pauldron, he can T-pose. Now, this is a rubbery plastic portion here. It's very soft. And at the end there, it does kind of move out of the way. But with the pauldron on, you kind of lose some of your range of motion. You can get almost a T-pose, but it's softer plastic. I mean, it bends a little bit, but not a whole lot. And these spikes are very sharp. I've stabbed myself about a half a dozen times just trying to plug this one into his back. Another reason why I said I'm only doing one. Like I said, I put that same belt on over the shoulder here, so we'll go ahead and get that out of the way. His head movement, you can go 360 degrees. He does have nice head tilt. Down only that much, and up only that much. The jaw is articulated, and so is the visor. That I thought was really neat. Hold on. Close his mouth and lift up the visor. So, legs straight out again. Actually, that's even a little bit higher than the other guy. Then backwards, straight back. So he's kicking hind end either direction. Can he do the splits? Yeah, he'll be able to do the splits. We're just going to do the one leg. Save some time. I know y'all don't want to be here all day with me. Knee joint. He has the Captain Morgan. I should get a little barrel for figures. All right. Ankles. Pivot inward. Pivot outward. Broken ankle there. Rolled ankle. His ankles, you can actually spin the full foot around. You can do the same on this figure too, by the way. I should have said that. Downward. Now, it doesn't look like he goes up as much. It looks like the top of the foot armor on this guy is up a little bit closer to this joint. So he does not tilt up as much. But it's still a decent amount. You can still get a walking pose and have both feet flat. So, works pretty well. The shoulder pauldron does tilt up and down to move the arms a bit. Oh, arms. So we did T-pose. Same thing as on this figure. Just one joint in the elbow. And then the wrist peg joint doing the in and out like that. So, there we go. All right, sit you back down, buddy. Now, the accessories you get with this guy. You get a quiver of arrows. Now, these arrows are molded in there, but in this nice silvery metallic. I really like this. It's really nice. It's got a little clip here, a little hook, that on this belt that's around him, you could take and clip it on and have it on his back. So if you want to do like an archer's pose with him, that would work really well. He comes with a bow. The really nice thing about this bow is it does have an elastic drawstring there. Very neat. He comes with a single arrow out of the quiver. Now there's no real way, and there are some markings here. So I suppose maybe that will clip. Yeah, it kind of clips in there. But you could put the bow in his hand and put the arrow in that little clip there. Now there's nothing on the back to really, let's see here. Can I get that to stay? I'm already have a feeling as long as you're very careful, you can clip that in there and put the arrow in and make it look like he's drawing it back, I suppose. But that does not stay in there very well, so you could launch this across your room pretty quickly. He comes with this battle sword axe. That's a sword. Reminds me very Lord of the Ring-ish, the way the Urukai's swords were. Then the handle looks like it's made out of bone, so it almost looks like a hip bone right there leading into the handle, which obviously you can just stick into his hand, just like the other figure. You know, the hands are molded in a softer plastic to be able to hold the weapons. See, very easy, very simple. I could do it with gloves. And he comes with this sword on a stick, almost like a bow staff with a sharpened piece of metal. And it's really cool the detail they put in, like all the scratch marks where it's been made and just rough looking. The only thing I wish they'd done is maybe a bit of a color difference in the weapon, because the weapon's all the same color. Maybe some brown here or even here, make the wood look, make this look like wood. I don't know. It's just nitpicky. It's still a cool figure. It's still a cool weapon. So I was messing around with him, looking. I'm like, I wonder if he is glow in the dark. He's not. But you have a black light. You can get a nice, cool blue glow effect. Let's see if I put one of the helmets right on. There you go. So yeah. Very cool. So if you have a black light in a display case or something like that, you can get a very ghostly look to them. I mean, very, very neat. Nothing really on him though, but all right. I do like these. I really like what the studio does with these, the Four Horsemen studios. They really do really nice figures. As far as score goes for articulation, Arakagor, I believe we gave a 4. And I actually have him right behind me here. And you can kind of see just, well, it's not knock everything off my shelves, how much bigger he is compared. So we'll put that behind him so you can kind of see just the size difference between these guys. I believe we gave him a 4 out of 5. Do I wish there was a little bit more joint movement? Sure. But it's good. I like it. It's a great figure. Both of them are. I have no complaints about either one, really. Just nitpicking and being silly at this point. I'll give these both a 4 out of 5. I think they are worthy of a 4 out of 5 on that standard. Overall, out of 10, I think honestly with the pauldrons being what they are, especially on the skeleton warrior here, with Hagnon, he's fine. Yeah, these do not get in the way whatsoever. So posing and everything is going to be fine with him. These are going to be in the way, but you don't have to use them either. As you can see, he looks just fine without it. If you imagine that wasn't even on, actually, I could probably pop that right off quick. Yep, there we go. So even without it, I'll still give it an 8 out of 10. I think these are great. Both of them get an 8. One thing I will say about this figure, though, I'm a big Army of Darkness fan. Always have been. Love collecting those figures. If you get a good bunch of these together, you could make yourself a nice little display from Army of Darkness. I mean, the skeleton warriors from the movie, I mean, it's almost perfect. So just a display idea for all you Army of Darkness fans out there. Posing is great. Would I buy these again? Absolutely. I love the blue glow effect you get, with a black light on this guy. And being an Army of Darkness fan, this is going to go great with my Army of Darkness figures. So I would definitely purchase these again. And these are a little bit less expensive than the Arachagor and some of the others have been. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And we'll see you on the next one.
Hey, here's another DragonDen video you might like.
And if you like this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button.
And you can hit the notification bell if you'd like to know when our videos come out.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.